My dad was one of my greatest mentors in life and in business. And with Father's Day just around the corner, I wanted to share a memory and a few lessons I learned from him in treating customers, treating people with respect. He had spent most of his life as a husband and father of three, providing for his family as a delivery man for a local bread bakery. But in the early 1970s, while I was still in high school, he made a bold decision. And at the age of 52, he changed professions, accepting a position as a clerk and stocker at a grocery store that was owned by a large national chain. But because of his excellent work ethic and his incomparable people skills, two traits I work hard to emulate, my father was quickly promoted to management. Now, my dad had a smile that could light up a room, and he was sincerely happy to see every customer that came into his store. He greeted many of them as friends when they came through the door, and he knew a good many of them, most of them, by name. It wasn't uncommon for him to even stop whatever he was doing to focus his attention solely on his customers, asking not just about their well-being, but about their families as well. See, my dad treated every customer with the same courtesy and respect, whether they came into his store to buy a loaf of bread or to do a week's worth of shopping. Money played absolutely no part in his relationship with them, and in his eyes, every customer was special. Some of my dad's customers would even just drop in, not to shop, but just to say hello and to ask how he was doing. A good many of the customers who shopped at his store did so because my dad made them feel valued and welcome. He was even known to drop in on the homes of his elderly customers if he hadn't seen them in a while, just to check in on them and make sure they had the care, food, and over-the-counter medications they might need. My dad had absolutely no formal training at delivering wow customer experiences, something I speak on and coach on today. That terminology didn't even exist at the time. The skill that my dad had came naturally to a man who also came from what was known as the greatest generation, where relationships were never taken for granted, and where giving a helping hand was done without fanfare and with absolutely no strings attached. Even after he retired from the grocery business in the early 1990s, he continued to work part-time at the store. I believe it was in large part due to the relationship he had with his customers. He wasn't in a hurry to give that up. In my heart and memories, my dad was a legend who taught me 5 extraordinary lessons in valuing and respecting customers as people and not just as transactions. The first, be personal. Greet your customers by name. Know everything you can about each of them, from their wants, needs, and expectations to the little things that make them happy, and then set out to do just that. Second, be accessible. Your customers are never an inconvenience. Take time to reach out to them on occasion to check on their well-being and remind them that you are happy to be of assistance to them anytime they need it. Third, be genuine. Your customers can tell if you really care about their happiness or if you're faking it. Look them in the eyes and listen with intent when they speak. They may just say something that will allow you to solidify the relationship with you even more. Fourth, be empathetic. It's important to listen and to care about the well-being of your customers as people, as opposed to what they contribute to the bottom line. Whatever goodwill you extend to others will come back to you tenfold. And fifth, be gracious. Always say please and thank you. I know that should go without saying, but how many times have you encountered an employee that failed to thank you for your business? If you're even able to answer that question, then you've noticed those who appear ungrateful for your business. Kindness and gratitude for a customer's business is the ultimate way to make them feel appreciated in the long term. In the end, a shared loyalty creates an emotional connection where customers are more likely to feel a subconscious need to repay an unselfish gesture by sharing their experience with a friend or by continuing to do business with you. And it's also the reason loyalty is so valuable to a business. When my dad passed away in the mid-90s, my sister and I were overwhelmed by the crowd of customers who came to his funeral to pay their respects. You see, to them, my dad was not just some guy who worked at a grocery store. He was a friend who they had come to know and love because my dad had shown genuine love, respect, and appreciation for all of them. See, in my opinion, he wasn't just a great dad. He was an early role model for how treating customers as people demonstrates the ultimate respect. To all the fathers in the world, happy Father's Day.